that recording artists are always put into the same thing, like you just call them the artists, at least at record companies. But I think that there's two kinds of music people. It's entertainers, you know, someone who's really an entertainer, doesn't write their own songs, or maybe they do, but it's mostly about whatever's popular. Madonna to many people are really about marketing and entertainment. You know, I'm not really an entertainer. I always feel the audience, but I don't necessarily give something to it. It's quite selfish of me. I do it mostly for myself.
Serve you someday. Now the moon will rise on your naked face.
I usually don't have any expectations when I play in it, unless I play in New York or Paris or Berlin or Chicago or something. You know, where I know I have an audience. In Paris, I don't know. But in places where I know I have an audience, I know some of the people in the front I will know. I like playing a situation where I have no idea of how people will respond, you know. It's not purely like egoistic on my part. I just don't feel honest trying to entertain people in a way that I don't feel, you know. I often feel ripped off when I see people entertaining me that I don't believe, that I don't trust. So I think it's more honest to be more selfish, is more giving, you know.
Now it's all about biting your tongue. I want to have my sweet ass so fun.
I've written in different ways over 20 years or something. I used to start with words, with the text, and then make music to it. And now I think I don't. That's probably why I've gotten more attracted to surrealism in poetry, and I often feel like literal words. To me, a song, it's the same, like some kind of poetic. I start with a physical reaction to a melody, and then it's a sort of a melancholic reaction to the melody, to two chords or three chords or one chord, and then I start to try to visualize words, and sometimes I use a Walkman with no technical problem, you know, just turn it on and then play those chords and mumble words, not even words, and then I try to listen to what my subconscious is trying to say. It's almost like automatic writing, but trying to be as I often feel with even writing a love song, even the most simple thing. If you think about it, it can make sense, it can be rational, it can be logical, it can reach people on a surface level, but the way it really feels is much more complicated, and it doesn't make sense. And the words I'm looking for is more like painting, more like impression, more like a vibe, esprit, you know, stuff like this, and to try to illustrate an experience, you know, translate. It's really like translating an experience of something that everyone might feel or might have felt, but it's hard to word it out, or it's hard to, you know, sometimes a melody can sound very happy with very dark lyrics, or very dark lyrics with a very happy melody. You know, I also don't. Honestly, I don't feel like songwriting. Even I don't feel like the words in the songs. Even if I don't feel like reproducing.
Right.
If that answers the question, but I also don't. I don't feel like poetry is not the same as songwriting to me, because you're singing the words and it's to music, and the words, the way you feel when you sing them is part of the translation as well. Where you read a poem, it's a much more intimate thing, because it's you and these words on a blank page. You know, when you're playing and you're listening, you feel things because there's music, and like watching theater with dialogue, but you're also watching the people. So the dialogue, if it's, I don't know, fucking, you know, some old like amazing playwrights, Victor Hugo, you know, it can be very. There's also that part of the illustration, like the scenario, the fact that you're sitting in a theater. That I do think very much about the audiences, what you're getting. I don't think that there's a poetics in songwriting, but the lyrics aren't supposed to be separated from the music. So I couldn't translate words into music unless I was really trying to interpret that music. Like some people have written, you know, from old John Coltrane solos or Miles Davis solos, or from jazz, put lyrics to the solos. They were trying to interpret the music. I think that's legitimate, but I can't write as separate music and words. I don't think they're. That's why I don't think it's poetry, really. Poetry is really on a page. You know, this is lyrics.
The ceiling spread upon the ground. My boyfriend Have a great evening. Thank you so much.